item on our agenda today, and we have a very crowded chamber. We also have an overflow room next door. We have lots of people who are interested in this subject. I want to make sure we have lots of testimony, both invited testimony as well as people who have signed up who would like to speak, and there's still that opportunity for people to speak. We're expecting this will go for a couple of hours. Again, I would ask that everybody be respectful of everybody else's testimony. People have a right to be heard when they sign up for their public testimony. And if people will not abide by that, then they will be asked to leave. So with that, I would ask that we call the roll, please.
Fritz? Here. Fish?
Here.
Saltzman?
Here.
Udavy? Here. Wheeler?
Here. Please call the first item.
Item 289, declare the city of Portland a welcoming city, a sanctuary city, and an inclusive city for all.
Thank you. I'd like to just start with some brief opening remarks. This is obviously a critical time for our country and for our city. We've already declared that we are a sanctuary city. And today we're affirming that declaration and we're going further. Portland is inclusive, safe, welcoming. All the adjectives that make it clear that this is a community for everyone. I sit beside 4 commissioners who are as dedicated to this subject as I am. We're putting forward this resolution together. Fortunately, we have many people in community groups who've stepped up to participate and engage as we strive to ensure that we're responding to threats in our community in an effective way. I'd like to thank the following groups who are part of the Portland United Against Hate Coalition for their efforts. Africa House, Southeast Uplift, Teatro, Milagro, Unite Oregon, the Urban League, Verity, and the YWCA. I'd also like to acknowledge the following bureaus who've provided a significant amount of feedback for today's resolution. The Office of Equity and Human Rights and the city's equity managers. The Bureau of Human Resources. The Portland Police Bureau. I'm going to ask you again not to interrupt that testimony. If you want to testify, sign up. If you want to, fine, then you will get your time. This is my time. Listen to me. This is a warning. And if you disrupt this proceeding, you will be excluded. The Office of Neighborhood Involvement, the Office of the City Attorney.
Great job, Ted! You're a mini Trump! You're a mini Trump! Sign, Ted! They can sign up. There's Portland American Action!
Snowflake Ted!
You can all sign. The other people that are here would like to know what they're saying.
Like Quanice Hayes can't talk about it. Quanice Hayes can't talk about it because he's dead. This boy right here can't say anything.
This boy that's right here, he can no longer speak.
Except for that.
Because he's dead.
Police shot him 3 times with an AK-47. A 17-year-old child, AK-47. That's a hunt in the city of Portland. Look, this is a sanctuary city. Look behind you. Look behind you. Look behind you.
Sanctuary city.
Look behind you. How many out there? We're in a city building and this is free speech and free assembly. And look at what's going on.
Hey, look, the cops are here.
We are peacefully assembling. We are non-violent.
That's Sergeant Hull over there. Hi, Sergeant Hull.
We are not threatening harm to anybody, but there are all the trauma by having them here. Do you know that they assaulted us? And I am too, and my family is too. And guess what? My nephews and my brothers and sisters and all of us are afraid parade on these streets. And because I don't have an accent, I'm not safe. You know that, right? Because Casey know that. Casey Jarman know that, right, Casey? Casey know about getting pulled over by the police and having an accent, which gives him privilege. And I don't have that privilege. As a woman, as a black woman, my child does not have any privileges in this country. And he can tell me who his stakeholder agency partners are, and that devalues my humanity. Because you have an entity that dominates this mandatory safety. We have no sanctuary in the city. I know. We have no sanctuary in the city. If you were my comrade, you would have had a conversation with me before now. You haven't heard me screaming for my life. You've never heard us screaming for our lives. You haven't heard us screaming for our lives. Where is the unity? Where's the unity? Where's the unity? No, you're shutting me down for free speech while these guys are contemplating coming in here to hurt me.
Why are you all the owner though?
Why are you acting like
Yeah, why? Why are y'all all the owner though?
We're friends, you know.
Why are you like?
We're friends. Teresa, do you feel safe with me?
But you guys make it seem I don't feel safe at all. I don't feel safe at all. I can't even walk the streets by myself. My lawyers tell me don't leave the house by myself. The resolution is already a federal mandate. We have Donald Trump. I don't want this dude to spend $11 million to get his Marines to pay us.
I'm sorry, no?
You guys are going to eject me and use physical force, right? I don't want to do that. I would hope that you guys don't do that. I know, I'm protesting you, so we're going to I'm standing here with a target on my chest.
That's fine, but I need, you know the rules of the council.
I absolutely
So
do.
we'll bring everybody back in, but can I get the agreement that we're gonna
I'm
respect
signed up
the
for
council?
testimony, and
I know, and
I do plan to testify.
And you can testify, but I want to bring the council back in. Okay,
You
so
know what it is?
Now you're stopping us.
The leader, the dude that we voted
I
in
can't
for
even
mayor
finish my
left.
sentence, so
Our city leader rolled out on us.
You're saying you want to bring council back. Let's do it.
Okay,
No more. Let's do it.
okay, but can I have a promise from you guys?
There's no promise. They don't tell them to promise to fire that guy because we can't conduct council business. Quanice Hayes. Tell Tandina to retire.
I don't want to kick people out, but we're gonna ask.
Okay, I heard you. Like, don't want council, so we need to
Just don't use excessive force. If you use excessive force at a Portland sanctuary event, do you know what that looks like? So go ahead.
I've been shut down for 35
Show the
years.
moral ethic
I'm sorry
value
you
of our
feel like a
city to the
victim right
world.
now.
I just lied to you. Do you ever know anything
You
about
said
Dr.
you
King?
don't want to kick
Do
us
you
out.
guys
You
know
already
anything
got
about
a
Dr.
resolution
King?
in place.
Did you guys hear what Dr. King said? Did you guys hear what he said? Rather than just say that we are united, did you guys hear what he said? The moral authority, ethics, integrity, courage. It takes a lot of courage to be denounced and discredited and persecuted because you're a victim survivor of violence. Okay. So you guys should be enduring that, and we've been prosecuted and persecuted for the last couple of years.
Okay, I want you guys to be able to testify.
What if the mayor comes back and they have the first 15 minutes?
No, we already signed up with everybody else. We're not getting out of the way. Let him do the process as it is. We don't have a problem with process. We don't need special accommodation. I've already signed up. I know the process. When I'm not here to sign up, I can tell the process. We already know. We signed up already. We signed up already. Put a hashtag Quanice Hayes. Hashtag Quanice Hayes. Hashtag Quanice Hayes. These brothers and sisters.
Oops, sorry.
Babies, 3 and 4-year-olds that ain't got no big brother no more. This 11-year-old sister was out there too. The 6-month-old baby was out there too. All right, we're ready.
You know how many times
They
I
don't
call her
know.
Teresa?
They don't care.
How many times? Like, no. You really know her name's Teresa. But you call her Teresa out of disrespect. We all know it. We all watch you all do it.
They know racism. I don't.
Yes.
My white friends tell me what it is.
No, you know.
I feel
You
like
know her name is Teresa.
Tell the public.
Can y'all back up so we got our names a little bit like keep it moving the flow traffic better.
Yeah, so we're
Like let's go.
Oops, sorry.
In title stands
Like we all need our privilege. I've been needing privilege since my great grandparents and their great grandparents got snatched up off their land and brought to this motherfucker. We've been asking for it again. And as soon as it became a policy and language authority and legislature and all that, we still are not fine. They can kill our kids and humanize us. I can bring a crime over here. Like I said, it's not about children. I know it happens. You're in my community. You think you're different than me? We the same. We are the same. And if you think there's a difference, that's the problem. I know. So excuse me, lady. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Folks, the sanctuary city ordinance is one that a lot of people in this room, just hear me out, please. Please hear me out. The sanctuary ordinance that's up for consideration this afternoon has been worked on by a lot of people in this room. It is very important.
Yeah, all
to them.
of us. All of us.
Understood.
Sacrifices
It
in
is
this
not
country,
the
dead
Portland
humans,
way.
lynchings.
It is not the
Lynchings
Portland
for
way
freedom.
for one voice.
Lynchings for free speech.
Lynchings. Particularly on an issue
Lynchings.
that's
Yeah, we
brought
paid a
together
price.
by the
Lynchings.
community.
Lynchings. And we
why
didn't
don't you
immigrate
try
here for
again?
jobs. Those snatch business and brothers here.
Why don't
So
you
you
let
owe us
people
sanctuary.
speak?
You owe us sanctuary. How you gonna proclaim something that should already be in?
So, why don't we have the discussion, and why don't we listen to the ordinance and let everybody have the respect of their.
Listen to the people, Katie Russey.
Can we please do that?
Katie
Can we do that? The goal of this resolution is to affirm Portland's commitment to protect and support immigrants and refugee communities. We'll continue to abide by state law and the United States Constitution. There are two pieces I want to highlight. Questions that come into our offices, not only community members, but also employees. This resolution directs the Bureau of Human Resources in collaboration with other city bureaus to develop a plan for training staff on how to respond to, and if appropriate, notify individuals about ICE personnel requesting information about city employees or Portland residents. This training will also include details on how employees should respond if ICE is attempting to enter city property or a city meeting. In addition, how to support employees whose family members have been displaced because of ICE. We're also convening a multi-jurisdictional work group. Critical to this work includes coordinating with school districts, regional, statewide, and federal leaders. So I've asked that we convene a work group amongst these jurisdictions to coordinate our efforts in supporting and protecting immigrant and refugee communities. I'd like at this point to, since we're all 5 of us bringing this forward together, ask my colleagues if any of them have opening comments as well before we get to our invited testimony.
Start with Iron Grace's test.
Commissioner Fritz.
Thank you, Mayor. As an immigrant, this is very important to me, and I'm very grateful to you for working on it with our communities for so long to try to get it right. You're a defense as to whether or not it does say what are our community's values. I have to admit that I made an error. This is why staff does my work for me. I did this by myself and got it wrong. So under the 6th whereas, it says, whereas Portland ranks 11th amongst US cities for resettling international refugees.
Folks, if you disagree with this resolution, you can sign up and you can tell us all during your time to testify why you disagree with the resolution. And meanwhile, let other people have their say. Commissioner.
Thank you. With the 11th best amongst US cities for resettling international refugees, it should read, since 1975, 65,832 refugees have settled in Oregon, and then add including 15,545 since 2002. And I'm grateful to Tim Crail and to the Flower of the Oregonian community staff.
Thank you.
And I'm assuming that's a friendly amendment, accepted?
Accepted, absolutely. Any other opening statements? Commissioner Saltzman.
I want to thank my council colleagues for bringing this resolution forward today, and thank all of you for being here to testify on it. This is an important stand that we are going to take as a council, and an even more important message that we are conveying to the community we serve, that you matter and you are welcome here. With all that is happening on the national stage, it is more important than ever that we reflect on who we are as a city and what we want to be known for. This resolution captures that, just that. Portland will be a welcoming, safe place for people of all walks of life, regardless of race, national origin, immigrant, or refugee status.
Unless they're homeless, unless they freeze to death.
It's disheartening. We are living in times that make it necessary for this resolution for us to state and confirm the values that are important to all of us. People across our city are living in fear and uncertainty that they won't be able to keep their families intact and their futures together. Today, we are making it clear that we have your back, and we will do everything in our power
Then help R2D2.
to protect you as neighbors. Together, we will reject hate, discrimination.
You will reject hate?
And
Folks, again, I would ask you to respect your voice is important, but it's not the most important. Everybody gets a say here. Let him speak.
Say his name.
together, we will reject hate, discrimination, divisiveness of any kind in our city.
Quanice Hayes. Say his name.
And I want to thank again the mayor and my colleagues for
Say his name.
Quanice Hayes.
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 I'm like, don't tell them no about me. I just started.
Are you guys going to be quiet for a while and let us act on
Really, Teddy, sit down. Exonerate Chad. Let the people speak. How about that?
Just go to testimony, shit.
Let Black Lives Matter speak.
So, Commissioner Fish.
Mayor, I want to thank you for your leadership in drafting this resolution and bringing the council together around this important action. But I want to be very clear today. I wish this was a one-page resolution, and I wish it had a clearer statement of sanctuary city. When President Trump issued his executive orders and began his pattern of bullying and threatening behavior, he did not call into question whether we are a welcoming city or an inclusive city. He called into question whether we are prepared to stand as a sanctuary. That is the issue of the day. We live in a state that is a sanctuary state by law. Public resources, by law, public resources cannot be used to enforce federal immigration laws. We live in a sanctuary county. The county has already taken its action. And, Teresa, please. Teresa, please. Teresa, we respect you, please.
Don't respect her, don't
We do not have to clear the road. We don't want to do that.
Really, Teddy? Really, Teddy? Let people speak. Let people speak, Teddy Rumpke.
So why should we give respect to people who don't respect we're not doing the work of the people?
Why do you have a riot police outside?
Because that's true. Okay.
Mr. Police Commissioner. Remember the extra
This is funny.
So, let me ask you a question. Do you guys want the sanctuary city ordinance to be arrested? I would take that as a no. So when you
interpreted what she said.
let other people speak.
We got
This
kids
is
that
your
can get
final
sent
warning,
to schools
and then we
you
are
got
going
the
to
same
clear the road.
proclamation. Are you
This is
kidding
your
me?
final warning.
You're the one interrupting me.
Maybe.
Trying to answer your question.
You don't listen to black people, you listen to white people. The white lady that you tear gassed under your order and you are the police
I'm going to
commissioner.
have to
This
ask
is
you,
why I'm hostile
please,
you
to
did. I've
stop.
never been tear gassed ever. You heard me tear gassed. Why should I respect you? I'm a white lady, listen to me. If that makes you feel better.
Who is here to testify, we're going to have to take a recess.
We're signed up to
For
testify.
those of you who are here to disrupt, I'm sorry.
Y'all might as well get slapped together for us, huh?
We're signed up.
That's up to
They're signed up. That's messed up. You don't have to do this.
When black lives are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back! Black lives are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back! Black lives are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back! Black lives are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back! Black lives are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back! Black lives are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back! Black lives are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back!
Stay and witness what they're going to do, please, and film them, because they have all heard us. They heard all of us for the same thing, and that's what they're about to do, so please stay and watch.
We're about to get violent.
Please film the police. Please film the police. They beat us up and sprayed us inside City Hall premises on October 12th, and they'll do it again if they can get away with it. Please don't leave.
And understand, yelling isn't violence. Nothing that we're doing is violent. You might not like it, but we are not hurting you. Okay?
Excuse me. Yeah.
I'm always worried about that one.
And it is, I am trying to with some people it's a very dangerous situation. It's a volatile situation. I don't want to.
Why don't we have this issue? We just ignore them.
I can't. Why? Because if we just ignore them, they're going to shout. People deserve. You want to try? Let's try. All right, we'll try. So who is up? The chair? You want to try?
Hi, sorry.
Education is so important. Yeah. But so for immigrants. And we got thousands of people in the city.
Sorry about that.
It's a step. And then for one thing would be to get the Bose Day Labor Center built. We don't believe in reforms. You don't want steps like people are getting taken back. No, we won't have Portland police working in solutions.
Oh, and I just want to get it.
There's things that happen when you don't.
No problem.
Yeah, you have it. You would have intelligence to know
Oh, they're always going to try but in terms of this, there's a whole web of things. Immigration, protecting those who are here. And we're a church dual house. We have Francisco Geary, I don't know if you've heard that. He lived there for 81 days, iced back down, we want to let him in, we don't allow wetlands.
Hi, Chrissy. Hey guys, anyone tuning in right now to the tuning into the live stream right now? I am at the Portland City Council meeting. They just came, or they're coming back in. I will update you guys in a few minutes. I can't talk when they're out there, but right now they're just protesting a death of Quanice Hayes. The officer who had shot him is not indicted, was not going to be indicted. His shooting death was deemed justifiable by a grand jury, and they are here. They are upset that the officer is not being charged right now. If you have if you want any more information about the case, you can go to my Twitter at Demster101. That's DEMSTER101. On my Twitter, there's a link to the story of the details of the case that surrounded the kid's death. Right now, the protesters you see.
For my seeking a resolution to affirm the county's commitment. It was just last December when Chair Kafori and I co-sponsored the Sanctuary County resolution, which passed with a 5-0 vote. Yes, quick clap for that. As local governments, we are direct service providers. That is, we are the safety net government. Our mission is to serve everyone based on need, not based on nation or origin or immigration status. There is a rising tide of fear washing over our community. It's unleashed by federal policies it is designed to frighten and to intimidate those who live and work in the shadows of our society. Those who cannot, because of their immigration status, stand up for themselves. And in the face of the Trump administration using outrageous intimidation tactics, placing municipalities across the country on a weekly watch list for declaring themselves safe places, the city of Portland is standing up for what is right. And I am shocked and I am outraged to hear members of our community who are making arrangements for their well-being of their children in the event that they are deported, or stories of parents no longer doing simple things such as going to the grocery store or to the laundromat all together. The way one of the parents would stay home with their children in case something happens to the other. And so I believe, as local leaders, we have a duty to stand up for the most vulnerable in our community. It's no longer just a slogan, politics are local. All residents should be able to access vital services without reservation and without fear that they will be reported to immigration officials. Or the police. Homeless shelters, domestic violence shelters, our courts, our libraries, and our medical facilities should be places of sanctuary, places of healing. We at Multnomah County press on with our convictions and encourage the city of Portland to do the same, with full knowledge that our actions run counter to the stated policies of the current administration in Washington, D.C. Now, we know there are some in positions of power who wish to punish all localities that make principled stands in defense of their residents. But we must not cower in the face of threats. We must never compromise our values for fear of reprisal. We must never sacrifice what is just for what is easy. Today, the city of Portland will take one important step to ensure our friends and our neighbors are safe here at home. I commend this body for its leadership today by declaring the city of Portland a welcoming city, a sanctuary city, an inclusive city. This city council will affirm its place on the right side of history. Thank you for bringing your voice to this fight, city of Portland, and thank you for the time that you have been here today.
Thank you.
What does that actually mean?
My name is Deborah Corey, and I am your Multnomah County Sheriff.
What does it mean?
Our nation's political landscape is broken and more divided than ever. We're seeing spikes in hate crimes, mothers and their children not showing up for their medical treatment, and families immersed in constant fear of what is going to happen tomorrow or tonight while they sleep. At Multnomah County, we're seeing families declining energy assistance because they're scared of what might happen if they write their name and their address on a form. Partner agencies have told us that 6 people seeking protection from domestic abuse this year have dropped applications for court-ordered protection out of fear of visiting the Multnomah County Courthouse. Or jail. It is truly heartbreaking. It's imperative that local jurisdictions stand united with our immigrant and refugee communities and do our part to combat hate and wade through these uncertain times alongside our community members. I am proud to say that Multnomah County has unanimously passed 2 resolutions similar to the one before you today and is invested in both internal training and external culturally competent legal services. We are committed, and I know the leaders in this room are also committed, to moving the dial on inequity and to standing up against racism and oppression. We've seen that in your investments and in your desire to work together to create an integrated approach to communication and response if something does happen in our community. This is only the beginning. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow or over the next few years, but we do know what our values are here in Portland and in Multnomah County. That's why I strongly encourage all of you to approve this resolution that states loudly that you stand with community. You stand for justice. All of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
You can say you stand with whoever you want, but if you don't actually do
Next up, we have council staff presentation. Andrea Valderrama, Roldan Salazar, and Asina Lawrence.
Are you gonna arrest ICE members? That'd be pretty cool. The police arresting ICE.
Are you gonna make the Portland police stop ICE when they come into our city?
Are you actually gonna do anything against ICE, or are you just gonna be like, bad ICE, bad?
Hello, Mayor and Council. My name is Andrea Valderrama, and I'm a Senior Policy Advisor for the Mayor. And I've had the privilege of continuing the good work that began last year on moving forward to formally declare the City of Portland a welcoming, inclusive, and a sanctuary city. I'd like to emphasize that this effort truly has been a partnership between staff and all council offices, which is demonstrated by the fact that it's being introduced by the full council. And as a daughter of political refugees from Peru and a first-generation graduate student, this resolution is especially powerful to me, and I'd like to thank you for your leadership and collaboration. I go home every night to feed my daughter dinner, and 50% ends up in her mouth and 50% on the floor. And I give her a bath, read her some books, and put her to bed. And while we sing and dance throughout this whole process, I still worry in the back of my mind all night, every night, that I alone cannot protect her from the racism and the oppression that I know is inevitable. This is why this resolution is so important, not only for our current employees and constituents, but for our future generations. And you have the ability to ease this worry, not only in my mind, for my daughter, and for the minds of all of Portlanders today. We have some really great panelists, so I don't want to take up too much time. But I wanted to let you all know that if you have any questions after the panels, please don't hesitate to call me back up here to answer them. And thank you again so much, all of you, for your leadership.
Thank you very much, Honduras.
My name is Goldan Salazar. I work with Commissioner Amanda Fritz. I'm grateful to have worked on this resolution from its inception, and I thank you for a few moments today to share my story. My father came to Oregon from Mexico without papers back in the 1970s. Back then, he could safely make the trek from Mexico to Oregon to work here seasonally and return to Mexico to care for his parents. Today, that journey is no longer safe for him and many migrants who used to be able to come and go. The border is unwelcome to people who look and who talk like him now. Growing up in Northeast Portland with a single mother who is disabled and without my father has been an obstacle. But as a first-generation college student graduating from Lewis and Clark, I'm proud to be sitting here today. Each morning I arrive at City Hall and I walk through the heavy doors to our office. I think of whose shoulders I'm standing on to be here and those who have gone before me. Each of us hold the great responsibility to be accountable to those in the community who cannot be here today. The single mothers with disabilities, the undocumented fathers who migrate, and the children of these families like me. We have an obligation to protect our employees throughout the city and continue to move this work forward. I thank all of council for supporting this resolution to protect the diversity that is Portland.
Thank you, appreciate it.
I'm Commissioner Fish's community liaison. I want to thank you, Commissioners, Mayor, Commissioner Fish. I'm honored to have collaborated with the Mayor's office on this resolution. Nationally and globally, we've seen a shift towards nationalism and fascism. It's a response to fear. A fear of immigrants and refugees. A fear of the other. While we cannot make immediate changes nationally or globally, we can make changes locally in our community. We derive strength from our diversity and from multiculturalism, from immigrants and refugees, which includes those who are undocumented. And we're part of a movement that does not force people into the shadows. We do not feed ignorance or fear. Today we lead. Today we stand together, united, celebrating and protecting our cherished, diverse Portland community.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you for your testimony. Next up, we have staff presentations. It'll be Tracy Reed from the Attorney's Office, Anna Kemper from Human Resources, and Don Hayes from the Office of Equity and Human Rights. Good afternoon.
Mr. Mayor, Council, good afternoon. It is truly my pleasure to be able to be here this afternoon in support of, acknowledgement of the importance we need for this resolution. Here to support our black and brown brothers and sisters, our Muslim brothers and sisters who work for this city and who are residents of this city. There's clearly been great concern subsequent to the original orders by the president that have caused concern and fear among our staff and among those who live in our community. This resolution attempts to speak to that and address in some way that concern. Some of it may in fact seem symbolic, but symbols do mean something, and the values of the city are spoken through this document. I have been, I've had the opportunity through my office to, in some sense, convene a group of folks who worked on this. I want to absolutely give appreciation and kudos to your staff, Mr. Mayor, to Andrea, as she really kind of shepherded this process and convened and allowed us to engage and offer input and edits, if you will, to this document to really bring, I think, the meat, the depth, and the breadth that was of importance to the staff and the faculty, the staff and employees of this city. There was a working group of which both Tracy and Anna were a part of, and also members of the audience. And I would just like them to stand so you can see who all was involved in the creation of this resolution along with our They're all it was very much a work of collaboration among Bureau staff concerned and expressed the concern of their immediate staff. As we work forward, my office along with Anna and others, and Tracy, will put some specific content together to further inform staff on how they can respond, how they should respond, and how they're comfortable being able to respond legally, morally, otherwise, ethically, if should there be any issues regarding ICE on city property and city buildings that they are responsible for. So from that, moving forward, we really look forward to continuing to inform as well as support all those who are feeling distressed and in fear based on where we are in this country. Thank you. Appreciate it. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mayor, City Council. Excuse me, Anna Canwood, Director of the Bureau of Human Resources. I do echo everything others have said about the importance of this resolution. As you can imagine, because we're the Bureau of Human Resources, we do get a number of calls from concerned employees, concerned family members about what may happen to them. And we have worked with the work group in terms of bringing these issues forward. The benefits office also recently had our EAP, our Employee Assistance Program provider, had an immigration attorney come to talk to interested employees about the history of Oregon in terms of the other exclusions we've had with people of color, and talk about the rights that employees have or citizens have, and also make some recommendations about having a plan for your children, things like that. And then offered to meet with staff afterwards, providing information that through our Employee Assistance Program, employees do have access to 30 minutes of free legal service. While that doesn't sound like a lot of time, it can be very useful to find out some of your basic rights. So this is part of the education that we've started, and we'll be continuing to partner with the Office of Equity and Human Rights, the City Attorney's Office, your office, and others in terms of additional education for employees, what their rights are and what we can do to respond as a city. So thank you very much for bringing this forward.
Thank you. We appreciate your testimony. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mayor, council members. I'm Tracy Reeve. I'm the Portland City Attorney. And I've been delighted to be able to work on this resolution and to work on a variety of other legal avenues to address some of the challenges that we're seeing that have been talked about here today. In addition to working on this resolution, the city has been participating as an amicus in a number of legal challenges, some addressing the executive orders on immigration, some addressing legal challenges to sanctuary city and sanctuary jurisdiction restrictions, and we will continue to do that work on behalf of the city and all of the folks in Portland. I've also been asked to briefly address the legal issues raised by the resolution, and the question of whether the adoption of this resolution would violate the law. And the answer is that no, it will not violate the law. The city has long followed the policy of
I'll be back in 5 minutes.